Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Becca.
Good to meet you, Becca. Where are you from?
I'm from Oakland, California.
Oakland, California. So you grew up out here?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Oakland.
What year did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2013.
2013. So you've probably seen Oakland change quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. A lot.
Do you feel like it's been for the better so far, or?
It's kind of a hard question coming from Oakland. That's kind of a I would say that some things may have changed for the better, but some things have not changed for the better of the community.
What kind of things have you seen that you feel like has made Oakland change for the better?
Um, I think the world's kind of in an interesting place right now, but I think that there have been more improvements made to kind of like the physical appearance of Oakland. And I don't think that that has necessarily changed a lot for the better for the community, but I do think that Oakland as a community has stayed and kind of worked through a lot of things. So I think that we've come out of a lot, and so I think that even the original people from Oakland and whoever's here now, to an extent, is more unified in a way.
Mm-hmm. More unified than you remember.
In a way.
What are some of the things that you've seen that are maybe not so positive changes?
Well, I feel like there were like certain changes are only being made because certain people are moving in and putting money into certain places in Oakland, and that wasn't really done for the original community of Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the direction that Oakland is moving in has displaced a lot of people who are from Oakland, so I think that's not for the better, and I think that's unfortunate for the people who have literally called Oakland their home for their whole lives and have had to be displaced because of the way that things are changing in Oakland. And also, to an extent, I feel like there is a sense of community lost because of how many people have had to be displaced.
Yeah, it seems like it. I moved here from Las Vegas, and I feel like when you have a place that is just so many people from somewhere else, it's tough to have community.
Yeah.
I think the community, I think you always need new people coming in, but but yeah, it's tough to have community when a lot of the people that have been there for so long can no longer afford to be there. You went to high school in Oakland?
Yeah, I went to Oakland High, but I ended up graduating from Berkeley High.
What was that like, Berkeley High? That's a huge school, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty big school, but Oakland High is a really big school as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, I mean, it's definitely like even bigger, so it's pretty big. They have like small schools in the school, which is really interesting. But it almost makes it feel a little smaller, even though it's like way bigger than most schools out here, because you're like in a specific school in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you have like a focus to your education?
I mean, I've always, I grew up working in music and in fashion and in the arts,
Mhm.
so I've always done stuff like that. Actually, I went to school for the arts my whole life, and I wasn't allowed to go to regular school, and I put myself in school when I was 15.
Mm-hmm. You weren't allowed to. You weren't allowed to go to school at all.
No, I was kind of homeschooled.
Uh, were your parents like religious?
No, my mom just for some reason wanted to try to homeschool us instead of us going to school.
What was that shift like to go from homeschooling to just like this really big high school experience?
I thought it was gonna be really shocking, but most of the people that I grew up around were like a little bit older than me, so it wasn't anything that was all that surprising to me,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. Except for that I did suck, like I did well when I started school, and I didn't think that I would.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a little brother and an older sister.
So you're in the middle.
Yes, I'm a middle child. I don't think that the clock is going. The time is going.
Oh, whoops.
Because I think you started at 4:17.
Oh, okay. I can time it better. So we're at 8 minutes now. So 8 minus 60 is 52. Are you in school now?
No, not at the moment. I'm considering taking some classes, maybe. What made you move to Oakland? Or to Alameda?
I got a job out here. I teach at Expression College in Emeryville.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I was in Vegas at the time. I went to art school and then just like a lot of different things happened, and I ended up in Las Vegas, and then I was there for about 5, 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and and then I got a job out here. So then I moved out here about 2 years ago.
Okay.
But
Where'd you go to art? What was that?
originally, I'm from Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since I've been there, but that's where all my family and everybody is.
Mm-hmm. What art school did you go to?
I went to Cal Arts.
Where's that?
It's on the north. It's north of Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
in Valencia.
Interesting.
Yeah. Are you thinking of going to art school?
That's where I would ideally go, but I'm probably just gonna take a few classes at a community college for right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that school though.
It's a good school if you are. I went there for grad school, and it's a good school, and it's really good for a lot of other like kind of more. I feel like a lot of animators come out of there. They have a really cool like experimental animation program,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a really interesting film program. They have a lot of really cool people that teach there,
That's
and
cool.
they have a good dance program there, and it's like a lot of different types of art. It's an interesting place.
You said it's in Southern California?
Yeah, it's about like 30 minutes north of downtown LA.
When you went there, did you live on campus?
No, I was living in. Are you familiar with Highland Park?
I'm not. I don't think so. No.
It's like you probably heard of like Silver Lake and Echo Park.
I've heard of Echo Park.
Yeah, like all those little communities are all kind of around Dodger Stadium. It was like right around. I actually lived in all of those places. I lived in Silver Lake for a while, Echo Park for a while, and then Highland Park for most of the time.
Interesting.
Are you thinking? Would you like to move to Los Angeles, or do you like the Bay Area?
I mean, I used to be back and forth between LA a lot, and I went to the Academy of Art for a little bit, and I think it's a good art school, but I personally didn't really like it that much. But I probably wouldn't want to go in LA either, honestly.
What did you
Probably
not?
would go in New York, huh?
What did you not like about the Academy of Art?
Nothing in particular. I just didn't really like it for myself. It wasn't what I was looking for. But I think it's a good school.
What's the best job you've ever had?
I guess being an assistant director. Or doing videography. One, two.
Like for was it like a short movie?
No,
Or a
I
commercial?
was no, I was like an assistant director for a director who did different types of productions, and mostly like commercials and stuff like that.
Cool. What's the worst job you've ever had?
Mm, I mean, I worked at Burger King one time for like a month. I would say that was probably the worst job.
What was bad about it?
Probably finding out that how disgusting they are. They didn't really follow like the rules or of their fake food, so I feel like that was not okay. And also like my managers were not like really respectful either.
Oh,
And
no.
it was minimum wage too, so
Yeah.
it wasn't really worth it.
I never worked fast food, but I worked a lot of retail jobs, and yeah, same, just minimum wage, and then I always felt like whenever everyone had time off, like for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or like even Christmas Day, it was like I always had to work, and one day it was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I giving up like Christmas Eve?
Well, I don't really like working
minimum wage?
for corporations actually, or for those type of corporations. I don't like
Yeah.
working for. But yeah, and it also didn't make sense because I was also working at a law office at the time, so yeah, didn't really make sense. It wasn't worth the pay or anything.
What was the law office like?
It was cool. It was a good job. It was, I was taking over a position temporarily though when somebody was out of town for a few months.
Can I get you some water or anything? You're okay.
It's okay, thank you. Do you have a reptile or something?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of?
He's a python, a ball python.
That's cool.
Yeah, actually, I have to check his tank because sometimes when it starts to get warm in here, yeah, it's a little warm. He's It's funny because some people react differently. Some people get so scared because he is pretty big. He's
Yeah.
intimidating. He's an older snake. He's almost 10. But the reality is that he's just like so boring.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't do really much of anything. A lot of times it's like that where he just hides in his hidey hole, like just sleeping for days and days, and then I'll start to see him when he gets hungry, and then he'll come out, and then sometimes he'll shed, but he's just like really docile.
Yeah. Does he eat rats?
Mm-hmm. Little like frozen mice.
Mm.
Yeah. So we'll like defrost it. So we'll put it like right up there, and then that's when he's like most active. So
Yeah.
he's like going all around it, like smelling it. He like really wants it.
Yeah.
And then we put it down in the terrarium with tongs, and then he'll just like he like snatches it real fast.
He's so excited though.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You get those from like a pet store or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, little frozen mice. It's better for them to have the frozen mice because the live mice can hurt him or scratch him. So the frozen mice are better, and he doesn't really know the difference.
Yeah.
At least I don't think he does.
I wonder. Are they little, like tiny, or are they regular sized mice?
I guess like that, plus a tail. They're pretty small.
Interesting.
And he has just about one a month.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They barely eat at all.
Yeah, like barely at all. And then that's it. Then he hides and won't see them for a while.
How do they survive that long without eating?
Yeah. Just like slow digestion, I guess.
That's gross. It must be rotten by the time they finish digesting it. How'd you guys find this place?
I can't remember. Maybe, I think probably Craigslist or something, or one of those websites.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice because it was the same that we were paying in Alameda, but this has it's small, but it has a little yard for the dogs.
That's nice.
Yeah, before we were just in an apartment, and so like every morning you have to go out and walk the dogs, and
yeah.
it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. Oh. What's up? Hi, Coco. She's just chilling.
What's the farthest place you've ever traveled?
New York.
New York.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I lived there.
Oh, cool.
I love it. I'm probably gonna go back for a week on like Tuesday.
Oh, how cool.
Hi.
What did you like about it?
It kind of feels like a second home to me. I don't know. I just feel like I'm supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, doggy. So excited.
She likes girls. Women. She really doesn't like guys very much.
It's funny. It's interesting. Dogs tend to be actually protective of women and children. It's an interesting instinct.
And let's see, look straight ahead for me.
And
Do you like movies?
yeah, I grew up watching a lot of movies and I like movies, but I'm just like, it's harder for me to sit down and watch TV or watch a movie nowadays, though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not being productive
Oh, like when a movie's on.
if I'm sitting down and watching a movie. Yeah. Unless I'm eating and watching it, or it's like the planned activity, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You're okay. So funny that they kind of like go with each other.
They do.
When did you get this one?
probably about a year before him, and then we've had him for about 13, 14, 15, 16. I guess about 3, 4 years. So probably her about 4 or 5 years. No, I feel like 4 years seems about right.
She's probably about 5 or something.
She's 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 2. Yeah, so I've had her for 4 years. The vet thought she was about 2 when we got her.
Mm.
She was straight as well.
Oh, really?
I think I don't know, maybe they have a problem with that in Vegas or something. Yeah, they were both strays.
Well, that's funny. They kind of look alike.
Yeah.
Coco. Coco kind of has a young, like, vibe about her.
Yeah, she has a lot of energy.
Mm.
She needs a lot more walks than he does.
Mm.
He's pretty lazy. He just really likes to eat and stuff too. And then
Yeah.
he likes to eat and sleep.
It's funny how dogs and cats actually have personalities. I mean, I'm sure probably all animals do.
Oh yeah. Do you get along with your siblings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What'd you go to art school for?
At the time I was a lot more into sculpture. And I kind of skipped around quite a bit. So I did sculpture, and then once I was there, it's the art program is really like non-traditional. It's very so you have people that are doing a lot of really crazy stuff and a lot of like really conceptual stuff and stuff that's not like traditional art at all. So I think that influenced me to, I think, kind of take more risks and try a lot more different types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but then by the time then I was out and I graduated in 2008, and then I've just really been traveling so much. Like I've been like all over the place. And,
Nice.
yeah, it's been nice. And then, but I guess, yeah, the last like 4 or 5 years, it's been just like different kind of painting and like picture making, I guess,
Cool.
in a variety of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little bit of design and drawing, and but always like kind of 2D, like picture making.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. How about you? What kind of art do you make?
I do a lot of different stuff right now. I kind of more so do like photography and videography. Um, I do more so stuff like that, but I grew up doing a lot of stuff in music and playing different instruments and working in fashion, doing a little design and stuff. And I also like draw and paint sometimes too.
Mm. If you were to move to New York, what would be your ideal life? Like, what would you want to do there?
Just create. Begin a lot of projects and finish a lot of projects, hopefully, too. I would just be creating, whether it's in fashion or visuals or music. Pretty much.
What kind of music do you make?
All different types of music. I grew up playing a few instruments, but I don't mind doing vocal stuff either. I like to.
You like to sing?
Mm-hmm. So do you teach at Expressions?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you teach?
Full time. So I'm there. I have classes 4 times a week.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of classes do you teach?
Mostly motion graphic classes. So, are you familiar with that program After Effects?
Sounds familiar.
Are you familiar with like Photoshop and Illustrator? Yeah. So it's another one of those. It's part of the Adobe suite of programs, and After Effects is what you use. Well, people use it for all kinds of different things. You can use it for like logo animations, like typography. You see it a lot in advertisements when like the words come in and they maybe like they animate in an interesting way, and you know, like title sequences for movies, like when they have all the titles that come up. But people also use it for, you can also use it for visual effects, like for video and stuff. So like right now I'm working on this project where it looks like a guy, like because I like horror movies a lot and stuff. So there's a visual effect where it looks like a guy like has like a hole through, like a bloody hole in his hand, you know. So you can do stuff like that in After Effects. You just like put like a green piece of paper on the hand and then you just like key it out.
Yeah, that's cool.
So like that and all kinds of stuff. So mostly like visual effects, motion graphics. That's mostly what I teach there.
Have you ever considered like working for Pixar or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, that would be really great. I don't know if they would want me. Because
I wonder how like their hiring processes are, or like who they're open to hiring. I know somebody who caters, but that's nothing, you know, like it's not in the artistic field. Well, I disagree with that actually. I would say that food is artistic, but they don't necessarily do, you know, animation or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like from what I've seen, I'm also like not super familiar with what they do because I haven't seen a lot of their movies.
Okay.
But from what I've seen, it's a lot of kind of like character animation and 3D modeling and stuff like that, and they actually do teach that at Expression, but but that's not my department. That's not really what I do. I'd say, yeah, my background is more like, I would say like art and design. And then So for motion graphics, it's a good fit.
Yeah.
Because then I apply all that knowledge of like history of typography or
Mm-hmm.
and then you can apply that, but then you apply it to like with like basic animation principles as well, because they then like the text like animates in different ways, timing and
Mm-hmm.
variety of different things.
Yeah. Does your girlfriend work in the arts as well?
No, she's a bartender,
Okay.
but she helps me quite a bit with like when we make like movies and stuff, like short films and stuff. She helps me quite a bit. She
That's
likes
cool.
to act, and she's really funny, and she's really great with like movie makeup and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so we just did this effect at the school earlier this week where there's like a line running like on a person's neck,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can hide it with a prosthetic,
Yeah.
and then the line runs to like a garden pump that's like filled with like fake blood.
Oh, okay.
And so then you make it look like someone got their throat slit and like blood is like squirting out and stuff like
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. So she
did that?
yeah, she
Wow.
we so we
She
figured
must
that
be
out.
pretty skilled then.
Yeah, I think she just like she has really like a knack for stuff like that. So she can figure out how to do it, or she can see how someone else did it and she can really like put it together and figure it out. She's really smart like that with creative stuff. What's something that you've done that you're most proud of?
I don't know, like an example would be like in any specific direction or anything like that.
No, it's totally up to you.
Well, I graduated high school and I actually wasn't allowed to go to school my whole life, and I didn't even think that I would be able to like do a class or like not get a F. I didn't even think that I would be able to like get good grades at the very least, yeah. And I ended up graduating in 2 years. I graduated when I was 17.
Wow. How did you graduate so quickly?
Well, actually, when I went to Oakland High, they told me that I was going to have to go to a continuation school, and I almost decided to drop out. But then I heard about Berkeley High's continuation school, and it really was different than the one that I had the option of going to. And so I got a lot of credits from like doing big projects, and then also I worked while I was in school, so I got some credits that way too. But they work with you to get all your credits. That was pretty cool.
Do you still keep in touch with people that you went to school with?
Some people.
I'm just gonna feed him.
Okay.
Food.
What do you do for work?
Well, recently I've been back and forth between here and New York, so I've been doing well, I work for an art studio in New York, but I've been doing a little bit of personal contracting, and I just like paint spaces and like set up event spaces.
How do you like it?
It's cool. I don't mind it, but I would like to do either have something a little bit more consistent or be able to just do my art and make money off of that.
Mm-hmm. For as long as I can remember, it seemed like, well, New York was always the most expensive place to live, but nowadays, do you feel like it's that different between here and there?
It isn't, I don't think. I think it's getting a little bit more expensive to live here even. But they're kind of on the same level.
What place do you feel like you get more out of?
I don't feel like I get more out of New York, but I feel like for this time in my life, maybe New York, because I have spent my life in Oakland, so.
Mm-hmm. What do you like to do?
Create, make art.
Do Do you like to go to the galleries in New York?
I would like to. I haven't really gone to galleries yet.
There's a whole area there in Chelsea. And it's like a couple of streets and pretty much, I mean, those are the best galleries in the world in that area.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you get a chance, you should totally go down there. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing, a lot of that work.
No, I'd definitely like to.
Are you dating anybody?
I've been with the same person for like about 5 years now.
Say that again?
I've been with the same person for about 5 years now.
5 years.
Mm.
From Oakland or from New York?
From Oakland. Are you drawing on canvas or what is it?
Mm-hmm.
The material?
It's like a canvas board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There was a while where I used to stretch my own canvas, and I used to like make my own stretcher bars and stuff like that.
That's
And
cool.
I don't know. I guess I don't have the energy for that anymore, or the space really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I used to make like custom sized canvases and stuff, and that was really nice.
That's cool.
But these are they're just like pretty inexpensive, and I like that they're flat, so then I can
Yeah, that's cool.
they're easily frameable.
Mm-hmm. Where do you get them from?
Just online.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of things like that where I feel like I used to like to take the time to like do something more specific and like do it right, and make it my own, and then but increasingly it's just like, well, it's just like so much cheaper and faster to just like buy it online. But then what gets lost?
Yeah. Somebody else is getting paid to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of. Hopefully.
He kind of has like breathing problems sometimes. Do you have any pets or cat or dog?
Well, she doesn't live with me anymore, but I have a cat. Her name's Lucy.
Who does she live with?
She lives with a friend of mine.
Oh. Do you get to visit her still?
Yeah, I see her whenever I visit my friend. She's pretty much her cat now, though.
Have you ever been to Cat Town?
No. Is that the thing in downtown Oakland? Or, I don't know.
It might be downtown. It's on Broadway. It's just like a few blocks down, and
It's downtown Oakland.
they have a cafe down there, and then you can't always go in and play with the cats. Oh, and they have cats there that you can adopt, and you can't always go and play with them because the cats don't like to be bothered too much. But you can go down there and sometimes like play with them, and then you can adopt them and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I think it's nice. It's better for the cats. I mean, it's a nicer environment for them than like at a shelter or something.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you would like to see or do before you die?
Travel the world.
Do you have specific places that you would want to go?
There's a lot. But I want to go to a lot of the Caribbean and a lot of South America, and I really want to go everywhere, though.
I don't know why he does that.
What's wrong?
And then sometimes I think maybe nothing is wrong. I'm not sure. I don't know. One time I took him to the vet to see if he was okay, and they said he's fine, and so I don't know why he does that.
Sounds like he's crying.
Yeah, it really does. And then it's like, I know he's not hungry because he just ate, and I don't know. He's perfectly healthy, and If you could give future advice to, if you could give advice to future American women, what would it be?
Um, I would say to live your life for yourself and to love yourself and to accomplish as much as in your heart as possible. And I think it's great to give, but you have to build for yourself, otherwise you'll have nothing to give.